How to learn Linux in 15 minutes or less. Well, the first thing that you have is, that you need, is to have access to one Linux server. In this case, I have a server already set up for this. And you have to provide your username and password in order to get access to it. If it gives me access to it. Alright, and the first commands that we are going to see is where are you? Like pwd is going to tell you where you are. Who am I? Right, you have some existential questions, and who are we with right now? Right, so it's going to give you some information about who's in the system, who are you, where are you, and well, one of the most important things here is if you need help, where can you find it? Well, Linux has a really cool thing, which is the manual pages. You put a man, and if you kind of know the command that you are looking for, you can just type it here and say that you want help on the ls command, which we're going to check right now. You just issue that, and it's going to give you the manual for that particular command. It's going to give you all the parameters, arguments, even examples. It's going to show you a little bit of everything. So that's the man, and the ls is to list. So if you do this, it's gonna give you a little bit of information about what's in there. Now if I just send the ls command, I don't know if this is a directory, if this is a file, I don't know what it is. So you have to use different parameters like ltr. So basically L is for listing, T is for time, it's going to order it by time, and R is reverse because the time starts at with the last file at the top. So you need to reverse it so you see it like nicely, like in this one, the last one at the bottom. Now here you see if this is a directory or a file. These are files, and if they start with the letter D, they are directories. Here is information about who owns the file, what's the group assigned for that file, and here are just the names of the files. Now, in terms of navigation, you have the CD. You can change directory basically, and if we go to tmp1, then now we are inside tmp1, and right here there is another one which is called test, but we are not going to go there. If you want to create empty files, you can use touch and then the name of the file, like name1 or name2, right? Whatever that you feel like naming your files. If you need to change the name of one of those, you can use the move command, and then you put name1, for example, and you put that this one actually was supposed to be called my file, and when you do this, you know that your file was changed to my file. If you need to make directories, you have the command mkdir, and the dir directory name, and it's gonna be there. Now if you want to remove stuff, if you want to remove a directory, you can use the rmdir, and this is and the name of the directory, and this is going to remove it. Or you can use the rm -rf and the name of the directory, and this is going to remove it. Now if you want to remove regular files, like let's say this one called test, you can just type rm test, and this will tell you, oh wow, this is not a file, that's a directory, sorry. So this one, name2, that's a normal file, you see here. So that's it, we remove that. Now if we want to find something in particular inside this tree, oh, I typed something, cd ... Basically this means going back one directory, right? So if you are really deep in your tree, if you want to go one back, you just type cd space ... and that's going to take you back one directory. So you don't have to type everything again. Now if you need to find where you are, you know that you have the pwd, so this is going to tell you where you are. But if you need to find something in particular, let's say that you need to find files that are text files, like txt files by extension. You can send this command, txt, and this is going to tell you everything ending with txt. But maybe you wanted only this one, and now you know, okay, this is the file. Now I want to go there. Well, you can just do this, right? You can just copy from here and go there. Now, this dot, what does it mean? This dot means the active folder. The folder where you're at is the dot, basically. Now, sometimes you want to see, or sometimes, no, actually pretty much all the time, you want to open files and see what's inside. In Linux, we have the cat command. So you can open up, for example, 6, and it's going to tell you what's inside. Let's say that I want to see if one of these files have something in particular inside, like that I know of. For example, I want to see if the file contains the word end inside. I can do grep. Grep is a filtering application. So if I do this, it's going to show me the word end. So that means that it's present in the file. If I do like ending and doesn't show anything, that means that nothing is there. Okay. If we want to see the first lines of the file, we have to use head, and that's gonna give us the first lines. If we want to see the last one, we can just use tail, and it's gonna give us the last lines. Now, how many ones? Well, you can specify that here, right? Or if it's the head, it's exactly the same thing. If I want to see only the first one, let's say that you want to open the file to see if it has columns with names, you can just put it like this. It's gonna tell you what's in the first line. Now, if you have two files and you want to see if there's any difference between these two, because you see that the size right here is different, so probably something is different between the two, you have a diff command. So you have to put the two files that you want to compare and hit enter, and this is going to tell you, okay, in the first file you have this line, and in the second file in the same position you have this this text. So there is a problem there, or there is a difference in there. Now, it's really common that you need to tar or package files like a zip file, let's say, and send them over somebody else. I don't know. So in this case, let's take the files 1, 2, and 3, so we can unpack them somewhere else. So you can tar -cdf, and then you put here the name of your tar. Let's see, my archive.tar, and you put 1, 2, and 3. Now my archive contains those files. Now I can just literally either move or copy this one somewhere else. I'm gonna copy this too. And this is another concept, the environment variables. You have variables that you can use to do things like redirect they keep information about your system. And in this case, I'm gonna use one. It's pretty common. It's called home, and basically it's going to take you to your home. I mean, inside it has the path of your home. And in this case, what we are doing here is that we are going to copy this to home. So if I do this, and if I go to home, and if I list, I have my archive here. If I just want to untar this over here, I can just do tar -xvf my archive, and it's going to show me here that it extracted the following. And you see, now the files are here. Now, if you want to see all the history, all the stuff that we are typing, you can just type history, and it's going to give you the list of stuff that you have sent. And something important, you can send this output over to other commands using pipe. Pipe is basically to redirect this somewhere else. So basically I will catch it with a grep because I want to filter it, and I want to see all the history about stuff that I typed that says txt, and this is going to tell me, oh man, you have all these things in your history saying txt. So those are redirections. Now if you have a file, let's say the file one here, but it's let's say that it's actually a script and you want to make it executable, because you cannot execute this. If I do this, this is to execute. If you type this right before the name of your script or your application, this is going to execute it, right? If I just put 1, it's going to say that that's a command that doesn't exist. But if I do this, it's going to try to execute it, but it doesn't have permissions to execute. You see here it says read, read write. I don't have permissions to execute this. So if I do change mod and I said 7771 and I list it again, it has all the permissions for execute. So technically I can execute this one. Right now this one is not an actual script, so it's just not going to do anything, but it allowed me to do it. Now if you want to say what's consuming the memory and CPU, you send the top command, so it's there. If you want to kill something from here that maybe is bugging you, maybe something is consuming a lot of memory and you want to kill it, you can just come in here, do this, and after kill you put the process ID. This PID is process ID, so you can just put it here and this is gonna kill it. Now this one I need it running and I am going to kill it, but this is going to terminate that task basically. Now if you need to check connectivity, you can use ping like in Windows or in your system, and you can just type here whatever you want to check connectivity with, and this is gonna give you output. If you want to see what's the name of your host name, you can send uname or uname -a, sorry, to see all the information about your host, like what's the version, what's the host name, what's the distribution, everything. If you want to see like in Linux we have the echo command, which is a command that is going to let you send text somewhere, either to the terminal or to a pipe, stuff like that. You can literally just echo, and you can put here some text, and this is going to echo this. Now this is in particular really important because when you are writing a script, you need to send this to an echo. Usually the script is going to have an output, and that output comes usually from the echo. Like at the end of the script you put the script finish correctly, and then this is what you're gonna get at the end of your script. What else? Well, we have df. Df is gonna give you an overview of what's in your system, all the volumes and everything. You can do also free -h to see memory utilization. And also the df, if you put -h, and that happens in most of these statistics commands, is going to give you a human readable output, like in this one, in gigabytes instead of anything else. And host name is if you want to see the actual host name, which is really nice in case that you need to write the scripts. We always use that a lot, and I think those are the most used and basic commands for Linux. After this point, everything else is going to go like a little bit more advanced, but these are the ones that are going to let you move around. Oh, I forgot. Env is going to give you all your environment variables. If you type this, it's going to give you all the information in your system that is considered an environment variable. So you can use this for fun. Thank you, subscribe, and click the bell.